Solopreneurs, today Spirit is calling you to trust your inner voice and align your thoughts with your higher purpose. This is the 11 of Air card, and it asks you to use your power of discernment to ask, what is the difference between what is real and imagined in my life? Take a look at what is real and what is imagined in your life and use that beautiful power of discernment to assess how that is helping you move forward in your goals. Hello, my beautiful solopreneurs. I am so excited to see you today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. By watching this reading, you are showing up for yourself by learning to connect with your inner wisdom on an even greater level. My name is Kristin Nicole Lobdell, and I believe that self-leadership is the foundation of a meaningful life and a sustainable business. Today, I am going to guide you through my K&L Co. signature self-leadership spread that is designed to help you regulate, validate, witness the deeper message unfolding, receive aligned guidance for your next steps, and integrate that guidance into your life. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't because you are the leader of your own life and your inner knowing is way more accurate than anyone else's could ever be for your life. But if you would like personalized guidance, you can always sign up for an intuitive guidance session with me. That link is always in the description. So yeah, this card, the overall energy card today is coming from the the Dreams of Gaia Tarot by Raven Phelan. I picked this one up in Italy and I've just been really loving it ever since I got back. This deck is a real journey, that's for sure. But I love how it combines um, tarot with more more integration with the elements, if you will. Raven's artwork is also just really beautiful. And so, if you are interested in a new deck that you'd like to help you go deeper into your experience of tarot, I recommend it. But I wanted to read for you what Raven has said, in addition to, what I had coming through earlier. I was saying this is about what is real and what is imagined, right? We need to use our powers of discernment to take a look at that in our lives right now because that's going to help us moving forward. So, what is reality and what is imagined? What is fact and what is fiction? Can that which dwells within the mind have an effect on the body? Can the physical body affect the state of mind? The 11 of air symbolizes a need to keep a healthy understanding of the relationship between mind and body and the power each can have over the other. It symbolizes being able to differentiate between fact and opinion and to make room for the imagination within our realities while still embracing a little bit of reality within our imaginings. She goes on to say, I'm not going to read the whole description of the card, but essentially, it's about striving to be open-minded and questioning, right? Because when we go to one extreme or the other, if we're too open-minded, we could be talked into anything, right? But if we are also too questioning, too skeptical, then we never open our minds to new experiences. Especially as solopreneurs, we need to be the visionary who believes that something that doesn't necessarily exist yet could actually exist, right? And that requires imagination and open-mindedness. Sometimes a little skepticism and discernment can serve to protect you from making foolish mistakes and following blindly. On the other hand, believing only in facts and the reality that you experience with your physical senses can close you off from reaching your fullest potential. You may limit yourself and what you can accomplish because achieving goals and living your dreams requires a belief in something more than just the tangible. So how can we have an open mind, but also still be bold enough to question, the things that we are being presented with? How can we not be afraid to, ask someone, well, why do you think this, right? Um, so I love this, and also the mind-body connection as well, recognizing that, the thoughts that we hold in our mind affect our body and the way that we feel. What you believe in your mind can have an impact on your body, and what you do to your body can have an impact on your mind, right? Maybe there's some things that you're physically putting into your body, some different foods, or maybe even medications or supplements. How are those things affecting your mind, right? So let's move into the self-leadership spread and into the tarot to get even more guidance around this message. So, in the regulate position, we have the Fool. And the Fool is saying here that this is what is in the regulate position. It's saying, this is about what is grounding you right now. And so, um, you are being asked to take a leap of faith in some area, right? You're standing on the edge of infinite possibility here. Anything could happen. And this energy is asking you to just take a beat and assess, right? You know, think about what is real and what is imagined. What is what is absolutely true in your life, and then what is the what are you imagining and trying to call into your life. This is something that we are just, we're just wanting to accept that this is the energy that is grounding you right now, whether you're able to realize it or not. Maybe it's time to open your mind to the idea that this is being asked of you, right? Maybe you are being asked to take a leap of faith and you didn't even know it yet, right? Anytime we do something new, it can be considered a leap of faith and, you know, kind of starting a new adventure, if you will, right? Um, in the validate position, this is what you are feeling that deserves to be honored. So you are probably getting a sense of this. This is about the hanged man asks you to adopt a new perspective. How can you look at things a little bit differently? And as I just mentioned, maybe you're being asked to try something new and to take a leap of faith in a certain area of your life. The hanged man is confirming that there may be some, maybe some of the discomfort that you're feeling is asking you to look at things from a new way, look at them in a different way. Maybe pause and just kind of surrender to the situation, right? Surrender to this leap of faith that you're being called to make and accept that, you know, um, there may be a different way to go about this, even if going about it is really just um, in your thoughts, right? Um, and also, the overall energy card asks us to trust our inner knowing. It's an 11, right? That 11s tend to ask us to trust the divine timing and align with our higher purpose. And so, you're being asked to, trust yourself a little bit more. Maybe you have been skeptical about your own ideas and thoughts moving forward. Maybe you've outsourced your authority in the past, and now you're being asked to trust that sense of authority. And actually, now that I'm looking at the card in the witness position, what is actually happening beneath the surface here, we've got the Emperor card, right? This is a card of leadership. This is about building structure in your life, right? Uh, this guy has, he's been to battle and back again, but he's always ready for battle just in case he needs to. He's always got his armor on just in case he needs to fight for something. Um, but this is about having a sense of authority and creating structure in your life, right? So it could also be maybe you're learning to put boundaries into place, right? That's how we create structure in our lives is boundaries and discipline, right? How can we show up consistently by creating discipline and structure and boundaries? Um, the emperor is really good at that. He leads through those kinds of things. He is a father figure, and he's also a four, right? A four represents stability. So what is actually happening beneath the surface is that you are creating stability. You are stepping into your leadership role by creating stability, learning how to hold your boundaries, and learning how to incorporate some discipline into your life. And that requires consideration of what is real in your life and what is imagined, and discerning how can you find the happy medium between both of those things and use a little bit of the openness, but also a little bit of the skepticism to find that happy medium and move forward with more ease. And so, in your most aligned next step, we have the strength card. So, this is about compassion over force, right? Compassion over force. I like to say that the strength card represents, um, or the message of the strength card, I should say, is mo- um, compassion over force creates momentum in your life. This is what's going to create the momentum in your life. So learning to rather than okay, so it's also about kind of taming the beast within. You see the angel here, which represents you. She has complete control over that lion. And it is she has tamed her beast within. So if she finds herself in a situation where she's frustrated and things aren't going her way, she's really good at, rather than trying to attack and force everyone to bend to what she wants to happen, she's going to probably take a step back and lead with a softer energy, right? She's going to have compassion. She's going to have the courage to have compassion over the people around her and maybe take her time with her implementation of whatever it is that she's trying to implement, right? This is where your power lies in the situation. So, how can you have compassion over whatever it is opposing you right now? What even if that means to, instead of forcing yourself to do something, maybe you need to take a step back and give yourself a little bit of patience in Rome wasn't built in a day, right? The emperor of Rome could not rise to power in one day. That it takes time to implement those boundaries, to incorporate discipline. So having compassion over yourself and others, and um, that's going to help you move forward in a much more advantageous way. And so, what shifts when you embody this is the Ace of Cups. You achieve fulfillment, right? So love begins, right? This is the beginning of your cup overflowing, right? Emotional fulfillment is this is a new cycle of emotional fulfillment. You're able to move forward in a way where um, things cause your cup to overflow, if you will. Compassion, creativity, these kinds of energies really present themselves. Maybe new relationships that actually, don't drain you. Instead, they fill you up to the point of overflow. So, yeah, I really like this reading, but don't forget to use your power of discernment to help you through all of that. And I trust that you found this to be helpful. As always, thank you so much for being here. And I also have a guide for you if you want to get even more out of your readings. I've linked a guide in the description below that will help you ask better questions before your tarot readings so that you get even more out of them. So check that out. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on that. Until next time, namaste.